adulthood.
I don't want to adult today.
Dogs testing Chinese products.
I'm gonna title it that tomorrow. Dogs testing shiny massager.
Can you look like you're holding it, Hitch, for me for a second? Show a thumbs up who's ready to go on a week-long adventure. Like the kind of adventure that starts here at my house and goes all the way up the coast of California. It's called San Rafael, little town, Northern California. And in San Rafael, they have redwood trees, beautiful beaches, and San Francisco is right there. Not to mention that I've never been there, nor have I shot a daily video there, and it's freaking beautiful. So my production company, I do own a company, and another production company have partnered, and we're trying to sell this really cool travel show. It's a really talented filmmaker making a film about my travels and what I'm doing with my life and trying to keep up with me. I think it'll be really fun. It's not done or anything. We're just shooting a sizzle reel for it. It's a travel documentary made by a very talented filmmaker who will be documenting my story and how I'm telling my story through my films. Little bit of filmception, but I think you're gonna dig it. So for the 4 reasons I'm really excited about this trip, 1, I've never seen the redwoods before. It's something I've always wanted to do. I think it's going to be an amazing experience, but I've just never gotten around to it. Secondly, I love road trips. I would say this classifies as a road trip. 3rd reason I cannot wait is I get to bring Angelique. And after the 2 days of filming with the crew, everyone goes home, me and Angelique stay and do some cute couple stuff. And then 4thly, I get to get out of the house and I get to make cool stuff for you guys in a beautiful place that I've never been before. I'm sold. So by far my favorite part about making projects in places I've never been is doing the research before I go to figure out what do I want to film there? How do I want the video to feel? What do I want it to look like? What do I want it to sound like, smell like, feel like? What is the feeling I want the audience to get as soon as they're done watching it? All of these not so simple questions are what give a project its style and its soul. So it's nothing too groundbreaking. I call it the snapshot method. I go on any image search engine and I type in the place I'm going and I look through photos. After I've gotten about 10, I reopen all of the photos. I have this theory that if a photo speaks to you the first time you see it, it's trying to say something and you should really listen. I listen to the photos. I'll give you here. So check this out. This photo tells me I need to bring the drone. This photo quickly reminded me that there's a lot of small things I'm gonna be wanting to show as well, so I decided I need to pack one of my macro lenses. This is just photo goals. This photo just quickly reminded me that I need to step my game up because where I'm going is absolutely beautiful. Photo reminded me that since I will be in massive trees, I'm gonna wanna get awesome wide shots looking up, and I have an awesome fisheye lens that could do just that. Nighttime long exposure. This photo just made me remember I need some really fast lenses because I'm gonna be doing a lot of photography at night. And then this last photo was the last photo I found and was also like the closer to what I was trying to do. I found this photo and I was so instantly connected to it. I knew this photo represented what I wanted the trip to feel like visually. When I added this photo, it made me realize that I am going to be needing to capture the intimacy of the inside of a car in a moving car on a road trip while I'm filming other things. This photo reminded me that I'm going to need to pack light and choose my gear really carefully because I'm going to want to be able to feel free so that I can capture real moments like this. So of course, any photographer's favorite part of getting ready to go on a trip is figuring out what gear they want to bring with them to create their content. Now there's a lot of photographers who don't have the means to choose their gear. They use the gear that they're able to get their hands on, and I think a lot of creativity comes from that. I also think that as their career progresses, they'll slowly add more and more gear to their arsenal until they have something to choose from. I understand this sounds like a really good problem to have all this gear to figure out what do I even want to bring to shoot on. It is an amazing problem to have and I feel super fortunate, but it is an extremely tricky thing to try and do. You have to figure out what kind of shots do I want to get, and then you have to figure out how do I bring the best gear that can get me the best shots for the longest, the most reliably, in the smallest bag possible that I'm going to be able to drag around a foreign location with me on. So to make my life a little easier, I break my traveling list down into 4 sections. How do I shoot from the ground, from the air, from the water, and in my case, how do I want the vlog to look? If you have air cinematography, ground cinematography, water cinematography, and you have an easy means of vlogging to capture real moments, then you've really got almost everything you could need. So let me start with air because it's an easy one. DJI Phantom 4. I use this drone every single day. You're by no means a stranger to this drone. It's awesome. Next, we'll go to the water because that's also an easy one. The same camera that I often vlog on, the G7X, I have an underwater housing for it. That being said, I don't trust it that much. So I have one of my old G7Xs that has a broken lens but still works that I'm going to put in the underwater housing. Next, we're gonna do vlogging. I usually vlog on the Canon G7X Mark II. It's a really great, really powerful camera. However, it is horrible with audio in the wind. And Northern California is famous for being extremely windy. So I think I'm just going to bring these in case we go to like a restaurant at night or something. So my main vlogging setup will be the camera I'm filming on right now, which is a Canon 70D with a Canon EFS 10 to 22 millimeter lens. I was reading on the lens, sorry. And a Shure microphone. So this graph before, I told you that you could only choose versatility or specialization, that you couldn't do both. I lied to you. The way that I found to do it is I go versatility in my vlog setup, specialization in my cinema setup. I shoot on two different cameras. I shoot the talking, personality stuff on one, I shoot the beautiful cinematography on the other. Which brings us to the ground setup. My main camera for this trip will be the Canon 1DX Mark II DSLR. It's a beast, it's my love, his name is Parol, and he will not leave my side the whole trip. In terms of lenses, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Canon Macro 100mm 2.8 for macro stuff and really cool portraits. I'm thinking the Canon 85mm 1.2 L series for awesome nighttime stuff. I'm thinking I'm also gonna bring a Canon 24 to 70mm just to cover all the other bases that I missed since both of those lenses are so specific. But part of me wants to bring the 35mm Cinema Prime. It's manual only, it's a pain in the ass, but the photos that it gets are just absolutely beautiful. Of course, I'm also gonna be bringing in intervalometer so I can do time lapses, a bunch of memory cards, a bunch of batteries, but that is pretty much the ground setup. Okay, and now here is where I'm currently stuck. I can't decide between one of two ways I want to film. And both of them are very specific and both of them are very inconvenient, but I need to choose one because it's the style that I love, and since this is for TV, I really need to do it. Here are my two choices. Paired with the 1DX, which is a heavy camera, I could either use the Steadicam, which I've used for almost all of my Reel Through My Eyes videos. This is like a huge favorite of mine, but it takes forever to balance and it's super heavy and it's super annoying. And then I have an electric slider that can do motion time lapses and camera moves. The problem with this is it's extremely heavy, it takes its own set of batteries, it needs a tripod, and it tips over a lot. Not to mention, it takes almost as long to set up as the Steadicam. My style is a lot of smooth camera movement, so I need one of these, I'm just not sure which. I'm probably gonna go motion slider just so I can do some cool moving time lapses, but I don't make me promise anything. I don't know yet. So remember, my number one concern was since this is a road trip, I don't know how to be able to film in the car. I don't know how to be able to get talking shots, outside time lapses. There's so much stuff to get in the car when you're filming a road trip. So I think I figured out a solution, but I have absolutely zero clue if it'll work. Today, I found this oddly shaped car mount. So these are the same suction cups that I used to use on the GoPro rig, except this can house one of my Canon cameras. I could use this with the Canon G7X, or remember the DSLR that Canon sent me to review? The Canon EOS Rebel T6i? I can put this on the car mount and get DSLR outside car shots. It might fall off and break, but it will be so worth it if it works. So fingers crossed, I think I found a solution, but I guess only time will tell. So yeah. I've wanted to make this video for so long. You guys don't understand how excited I get to pack up all of my stuff to go on a trip. This is what I live for. Like, this to me is like my idea of like heaven. Which brings us to the last part of the video, my absolute favorite part, the best part, the most fun part, the part that I've been waiting for all freaking day. We're just gonna test it. I don't feel good about it, but I feel okay about it. Oh, let's go for a ride. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a good day. Yes. Well, the drone is working and the underwater housing worked 2 days ago. Tomorrow, I'll show you how I fit it all in a bag. stereo destroyed me. I'm gonna try to walk to there. That's about all I got.